Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel.
I am super excited for this video because I have been meaning to do a little series throughout my channel for a while now. I want to show you guys how I do this whole YouTube thing and all the tips and tricks that I know. And this week is the first video of that series, so I'm not going to do it in order. I'm going to post these separately throughout different weeks, but I hope you guys are really excited. Today I wanted to show you guys how I edit my Instagram pictures and my thumbnails for my videos. So to edit both my Instagram pictures and my thumbnails, I use my phone. So first I'm going to show you all of the apps that I use for photo editing. I like to use Lightroom, Picsart, Picmonkey, and Phonto. Those are all the ones that I use. Sometimes I use Vsco, but I feel like Lightroom gives you a lot more options in terms of colors, so it's a lot easier to find an Instagram feed with that. Generally, I like to have these colors as like my feed colors. I really like neutral tones and I like greens as well and reds. So for this example, I'm going to be editing this picture that I took about a week ago. It has this sort of euphoria theme, but I decided to do this picture because I feel like it has mostly a mixture of all the things that I do to edit my pictures. So this is the picture straight out of the camera, and the first thing I like to do is to edit my face on Picmonkey, because if I have a pimple or two or I have particularly dark circles, I try to like blur that out so that my skin tone evens out and everything, and then I go on with a filter. So I selected the picture in Picmonkey, and now I'm just going to use the touch-up feature to touch up my face. So I like to use the blemish fix, and then I like to go in and kind of just fix the imperfections. As you can see, I need to do my eyebrows. So I like to like kind of blur it out with the skin tone on my face so that it doesn't look as bad. So I like to blur that out, and then I get in really close on any other pimples or anything else that I have. I don't really need to fix under my eyes as much. I do have like heavy concealer on in this picture, but usually I like to go a little bit under my eyes if it's necessary. And then I have this tendency of biting my lower lip. It's a really bad habit that I have to get over, so my lips are always chapped and always dry, so I always like to pick at the dry skin. So I like to blur that out a little bit so that it doesn't look as damaged. And then as you can see, I have to wax my mustache as well, so I'm gonna blur that out too. And then I just look at the picture overall, see if I need to fix anything else with my skin, and then I move on to the smooth filter, and then I just try to smooth out all of the blemishes that I did, because sometimes if you really zoom in, it just looks like you only blurred out one specific spot in your face, so it just kind of looks very unnatural. So if you go in with the smooth filter on a really low setting and kind of just even out everything, it doesn't look as bad. So in the plus sign in the side, I like to make the brush pretty big and just go over it a little bit. And then now what I really like to do, and I feel like it makes such a big difference, is I like to whiten things. So if the wall behind me is kind of orange looking like it is in this picture, I like to blur it out a little bit with the whiten feature on Picmonkey. So I like to go put it on a sort of high setting, and I like to just make my wall behind me a little whiter. So as you can see, it makes a huge difference, and it just makes me look like more flesh tone, because the white behind me is really white, and then my actual skin tone is a lot warmer because the light in front of me is warmer. And then I kind of just go over that with the white. I'm not going to go really specific on this video because I do obviously take my time and I try to make it as seamless as I can, but I'm just doing a demonstration today. And then I like to also go on the brighten feature. I love this feature because it really like sharpens anything that you want to sharpen on your face. So essentially what I really like to sharpen are my eyes and my eyebrows, so that you can see the really individual hairs on my eyebrows, and so my mascara is more prominent. So I like to go over just a little bit on my eyebrows and my eyes. And sometimes I like to go over my hair on like shiny parts of my hair, so my hair looks more like shinier and healthier. And that is it. That is basically what I do. I don't sculpt anything on my face. I don't make my cheekbones higher or make anything different structurally on my face, because I used to do that a lot in high school and it's just a waste of time, really. Now I am basically done with this picture, so I like to get this picture and now move it to Lightroom to add a filter on it. So I'm going to Lightroom right now. Essentially what I did is that I put up the exposure, the contrast just a little bit. I pulled down the highlights because I pulled up the whites and it just made me look too white, so it really accentuates the white in my eyes and the white background. Also, I'm sorry, my nails are just like so bad. I need to go do them. Anyway, I put the black up to 39 because since I have dark brown hair, doing that really makes my hair a lot darker and I really like how that looks. And then the most important thing in this picture is the color. So I like to go on the color, and you can manually make the picture like warmer or cooler if you want, but I didn't really change that. What I did change was the mix. So as you can see here, if you click on the color tab and you go to mix, you can see all of the different colors that are available for you to change in the picture. So I'm obviously not going to change a blue because there's no blue in this picture. So if I go to blue and I change the hue, nothing changes in the picture because there's no blue. But I like to go to the red and the yellow and the orange, which are colors that are usually on my pictures, and I like to adjust them depending on kind of the lighting situation that's going on in the picture. So I put the hue for the red, I put it in 20. It also depends on how my skin tone looks. So if I'm outside, my skin tone is going to look a lot warmer than if I'm taking a picture inside. In that case, the hue will go a little bit more to the right, but this is an inside picture. I did it more towards the left, even though I did use like a warm light to take the picture. I don't really like to change the saturation for the red, and then I put the luminance to 15, and luminance is basically how bright or how dark the color is in the picture. As you can see here, if I put up the luminance, my eyeshadow almost looks like neon, so I put that at a 15. And then I try not to move the orange a lot because the orange really affects my skin tone, obviously, and I don't want it to really deviate from like my natural skin tone. What I usually just do is that I make it look a little bit less yellow. So with that, I like to change the hue more towards the left, which is more on the red side, so it doesn't look as yellow, but I try not to move a lot in the orange. And then for yellow, I desaturate it a lot because, like I said, I don't like the yellow in my skin tone when it comes out in pictures like that, so I really like to lower that. Put down the hue a little bit and then put up the luminance to 10 in the yellow. And that's basically it. It all depends on basically the picture that I'm taking, moving it around, seeing what looks good. On effects, I normally don't use a lot of effects in my photos for like filter editing, but sometimes this does let you put like grain on the picture if you like to put grain. I like to put grain a lot on pictures that are like exterior. I dehazed this picture a lot. Dehaze is like my lifesaver. I love using the dehaze feature. It just makes like the whiteness of a flash look a lot better. So if I pulled up and down the dehaze, like it just looks like 10 times better. And yeah, that is basically it. As you can see, this is the before and this is the after. Sometimes I like to sharpen the picture if I really want the picture to be in detail, so that's what I did a little bit here as well. And then the next step is my favorite part, which is actually editing the picture and putting effects if I want to put effects. So for that, I go to Picsart. Picsart is an absolutely amazing app. I can't believe that it's free, but there's obviously a premium version that you can get that has a lot more features and effects that you can add onto your pictures, but I believe just using like the free version is fine. Like they give you a lot of options. So I selected the picture that I edited on Lightroom, and then since this is like a Euphoria themed picture, I love to add little stickers and things to really bump up this photo. So what I did is that I went to stickers and I searched up like glitter tears to put under my eyes, and I really found these that I really like. I just kind of like adjusted it and tried to fit it under my eye. Picsart allows you to erase a sticker if you want to erase it, so you can mix different stickers together. You can erase half of one sticker and overlap it with another one. So that's essentially what I did here. I just kind of put it under my eye, and then I used the erase feature and I kind of just like erased a little bit of the sticker to kind of just like make it look like it was coming out of my eye. So essentially that's what I did. I kind of just moved it to kind of make it look similar on both sides, and it did take me a while, but I reused the same sticker over and over to try to like overlap it and make it look sort of real. So if you want to duplicate the sticker and you want to like overlap the same sticker over again, I like to go to this little icon right here that it looks like two sheets of paper over each other. You click on that and it lets you duplicate the picture. So I'm going to click duplicate, and it duplicates the exact sticker that you did with the erasing and everything. And then I go to the other side and kind of just adjust it, and that's basically it for the tears. And then I went back to my stickers and I wanted to add something else, so I decided to add some stars. And then looking at different stars, I decided to add gold stars. So it's already here on my recents because I already searched up gold stars, but what you can do is just go to search gold stars, and it gives you a bunch of gold stars that you can choose from. So I ended up choosing these. So I just made the stars really big, and then I kind of just got the eraser tool again and I erased the stars that were on my face. And if any stars were overlapping with the background and myself, I just erased the part of the star that is on myself and left it on the wall. I don't know if that makes sense. I get the eraser tool and I just erase that and kind of just leave the other part of the star in the background. And that's basically it. I just kept duplicating the sticker until I was pretty much happy with the distribution of all the stars in the background, and that's how I ended up with this picture. Okay, so that's obviously a really extra picture that I took. If I take like an outside picture and I don't want to put any design or anything on it, I just go to Picmonkey, blur out any under eye circles that I have, go to Lightroom, add some filters, and then just post it. I also like to draw on my pictures, and that's one thing that I didn't explain that is also on my Instagram. So this is the original picture after Lightroom and Picmonkey, and I went to the brushes feature. You can also go to draw, but I feel like brushes is a lot easier. I click on brushes and then I go to the little highlighter in the front icon, and then I choose whatever color I want to do. I chose this kind of light pink, clicked on the highlight icon again, and then selected the size for the highlighter, and then I just drew on top of the picture until I pretty much like the curve that I left on it. And then I go to the eraser tool and I just erase whatever drew on my face. So I go in really close and I kind of just erase that. And then I go to this icon, which is the second one that looks like a little pencil with a circle that is in dashes. And then I click on the white one, and then I go over the pink part, and then I go to the eraser tool again and I just erase on my face. And that's pretty much it. That's how I got that. I just realized that I'm like literally wearing the same shirt as I did in that thumbnail. So we have made it to the thumbnail portion of this video. For my thumbnails, it is a little different because I do like to add words and text on the photo. And usually the photo is horizontal and not vertical. For thumbnails, the crop has to be 16:9 so that it fits in YouTube, because if you get just a regular horizontal picture, it's gonna look really disfigured in the YouTube thumbnail box. So you have to make the crop 16:9. So today I'm gonna show you how I did the productive college day in my life thumbnail. So first took a screen grab of the video, and then I airdropped it from my editing software to my phone, and then I put it in Lightroom. I put a filter. I feel like it didn't really need to use Picmonkey in this one, so I just used Lightroom, and then I went to Phonto. Phonto is the app that actually puts all of the text and the wording on the photo. And I selected my photo, and I already had it in 6:9 crop because I already did that in Lightroom. So now it's time to put the lettering. So I usually just play around with it and see what looks good. You want to make the lettering big enough so that when people are scrolling through looking at the recommended, they can actually read the wording. You don't want the word to be in some kind of weird font or anything nobody can read. So I always think of trying to make the words a specific color that is different from the background. So sometimes I use yellow and sometimes I use white. So if I have a thumbnail that the background is white, why would I put white wording? Because nobody can barely read that. Because remember, nobody's really looking at the thumbnail for longer than maybe half a second, 2 seconds. So you want to make sure that nobody has to squint to read whatever you wrote. So I decided to use the yellow font. I could have also used the white font, but I feel like there's white behind me in the wall. I just wanted some other color to pop. So I clicked on the photo, I put add text, and then you can write whatever text you want. So I wrote productive, and then I wrote college day, and then I wrote in my life, kind of spread out the words a lot more evenly. So now when I've kind of adjusted the words to how I want it laid out on the photo, I click on the text, and then it gives you different options to style the text. So it gives you different colors to play around with. I already have some preset colors that I already put that I like to reuse, but you can do white, you can do black, you can do green, you can do yellow, you can do red, you can do whatever color you want. But I already have some preset colors already there for me, so I just go to the little 3 lines on the side here, and then I click on whatever color I want, and then I go to stroke, which is the outside lining of the words. So I click on my saves and I click on black. All the way down here you can see you can adjust the width.
You can make it really thick or not as thick. So
I usually like to stick to 4 or 5 of width. That's pretty much it for color. And then I like to go to the top and I go to style, and then you can adjust the shadow. You can make the shadow really strong on the alpha, and then you can make the blur not as strong, so it kind of becomes like this back shadow, or you can make the alpha not as strong and you can make the blur not as strong either. And then you can go to spacing and you can adjust the spacing of the letters, so you can make it like really aesthetic, and you can make the lettering a lot more separate. So I usually do this if I have a lot of space to put my words. The letters are more spread out, but I think I just moved it like 1 or twice in this one. I don't really remember exactly what I did, but but I do like to adjust it just a little bit. And then I click done, and as you can see, the word productive is already edited. And then I'm basically just gonna do that for the rest of the text that I have here, because I have 2 more. And I like to do exactly the same so it's all consistent, and then I'll be right back when I'm done. Okay, so basically all you have left to do is kind of to make sure that you want the words there, because sometimes I change the color and I change my mind of where I want the wording to be, because maybe this side of the picture has a lot more color and so it pops more on that side. So I just kind of like to readjust the words. And then when you're pretty much happy with the placement, that's pretty much it. So I go to the share button on the lower right corner and I go to save as PNG, and then you save the picture on your camera roll. And then I go back to Picsart, which is probably the app that I use the most out of all of these. I click on what I did, and then I like to think of the edits that I want to do, if I want to add anything else. So I went to the draw feature because I am drawing in very small sections this time. And then I clicked on the color wheel, I clicked on white, and then I clicked on the paintbrush. They give you different brushes if you want to adjust. Click the little check mark, and then I went in and I kind of just outlined myself. I even outlined the journal and everything so I can pop even more from the background and it looks more
aesthetic.
So usually I do this like before I put the lettering, but I forgot. So now I have to go over and I have to erase the parts that is overlapping in the words. So
anyway,
after I'm pretty much happy with the outline that I did, I go back to my stickers and then I added some butterflies. So usually I add either stars or butterflies to my thumbnails. So I go to my recents and then I click on the butterfly, and then I kind of just adjust the butterflies how I want it, twist it around, erase some butterflies that I don't want to put on there, and then I just try to make it look good until I'm pretty much happy with it. And then that's how I ended up with this picture. So if you guys want to download these apps, I'll leave it in the link down below. Please let me know if you guys want to see the rest of this series. I'm really excited to make it, and fall is coming, so look out for that next week. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like this video because that's how you let me know. Subscribe for more videos like these and hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time I post. I post every single Sunday, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.